Be seated, friends, because tonight's case is a logic puzzle with a man inside it. Here is the puzzle. Can the government stop you from following its own order and then punish you for not following it? Can it hold the door shut and charge you with refusing to walk through? Every child on every playground knows the answer, and this week a federal judge had to write it into the record anyway, because an agency of the United States stood in a courtroom and argued the other side. The man's name is Marlon Andres Torres Gomez, and his case is tonight's whole docket. The record, step by step, because the sequence is the case. An immigration judge granted Torres Gomez voluntary departure, the arrangement where you leave the country on your own, with dignity, by a deadline. His deadline? June 11th. And he did what the order contemplates, jury. He bought a one-way ticket from New York to Colombia, departing June 10th, a full day early. His attorneys contacted immigration officials repeatedly to coordinate it. Ticket purchased, government notified, bags presumably packed. Hold that picture, a man with a boarding pass trying to comply. Now the trap. ICE did not put him on that plane. The agency kept him locked in a New Jersey detention facility as June 10th came, as his flight left without him, as the June 11th deadline passed. And then, jury, came the argument that turns this from a bureaucratic failure into tonight's case. The agency contended that because Torres Gomez had, quote, failed to depart, he was now subject to mandatory detention. Read the mechanism twice. The missed flight became the legal reason to keep holding him. The flight he missed because they were holding him. Enter the judiciary. On July 22nd and 23rd, United States District Judge Michael Farbiarz of the District of New Jersey heard the habeas petition and granted it, ordering Torres Gomez promptly released. The court's finding: he remained in the United States only because the government kept him in custody and prevented him from boarding the flight he had purchased in order to comply. And the judge's description of the government's position, in 4 words that should hang in a frame somewhere: at odds with common sense. Understand what loop this ruling closes, jury, because without it, the circle runs forever. Step 1. A person is granted voluntary departure. Step 2. The agency declines to let them leave. Step 3. The deadline passes, by the agency's own hand. Step 4. The missed deadline becomes mandatory detention, indefinitely. No individual step looks lawless from the outside, and the sum of them is a machine that manufactures its own prisoners. That is what the court refused to sign. The government cannot create the violation it then punishes. Cross-examination, in fairness. Voluntary departure deadlines are real law, and enforcing them against people who simply do not leave is legitimate. That is, the bargain the arrangement strikes. And detention systems are bureaucracies. It is genuinely possible the missed flight began as paperwork failure rather than design, a transfer not processed, a signature not obtained. If the agency had come to court and said, "We failed to move him in time," and released him, this desk would have filed it as incompetence, not policy. But that is not what happened, jury. In court, with time to think, the agency defended the loop. The argument, not the accident, is the exhibit. So who benefits from a loop like this, and who pays? The benefit flows to a detention posture, quietly expanded. Every person kept from a flight becomes a person lawfully detainable, and the numbers climb without a single new law passing. The cost has a name, and a cell it should never have occupied. A man jailed past a deadline he spent his own money to meet. And behind him, everyone else holding a voluntary departure order, wondering whether compliance is actually possible, or whether the exit is a painted door. The verdict belongs to Judge Farbiarz, and this desk simply co-signs it, at odds with common sense. Marlon Andres Torres Gomez is ordered released, and a line the detention math had quietly erased is redrawn. The government cannot lock the exit and then jail you for staying inside. It took a boarding pass, 2 lawyers, a habeas petition, and a federal judge to establish what the playground already knew. Keep receipts, jury, even for the doors. Court is adjourned. I'm Madeline, and this is Pixel Politics.